the decision. So how did you end up from moving from paying directly to a student to an accommodation provider and moving to pay towards students? And I'm asking this because this region in particular falls under, I think it's Training Young Minds. That's your solution partner. And to me, it doesn't make sense that that only solution partner that these institutions falls under is the issue that we're discussing. That payments haven't been made to them, that there's still issues. They're currently threatening action against you. They're threatening that on Friday they're going to be protesting Mesotugwa, and I think you know this. They're threatening to cut down on transport, on Wi-Fi, and pretty much lock the doors of student accommodation to students simply because there's a problem. So I need you to explain then why that solution partner is treated differently from other solution partners.
In short, that solution partner did not upload the requisite documentation to confirm the required payment to a private accommodation provider.
So you're saying on record to all the service providers that fall under the solution partner that the reason why payments have not been made, and in some instances some were not made directly and there was a mix-up of amounts, is because Training Young Minds did not submit or upload the necessary information. I want you to repeat that because that's what you said.
I think that's a bit of a stretch, is to say that if you, let's say that in the process of paying that batch, there was severe inefficiencies there that could not result in a payment through the solution partner. The requisite documents were not there to be able to facilitate that payment, and therefore the students were required to be paid directly. In terms of, you will have to get a more detailed report on exactly what those inefficiencies are. I don't necessarily want to blame the solution partner until we would have received a
I mean, you
thorough
just
report.
did. I don't know who the acting chairperson is. I will assume it's you and the deputy chairperson. The reason why I said you're a spin doctor is because it takes one to know one. And I listened to you very carefully. I'm not raising this because it's fun. The bottom line is that that whole region is complaining, or the series of TVET colleges, of student accommodation providers who are threatening mass destruction for students who are going to be left without accommodation, students who are going to be left without services. And in your words, you can't now say in your second response you think it's a stretch. Because you, in your own words, CEO, said that the reason why you haven't been paying, and in some instances you have paid short, is because there is information from the service provider side that is a problem. And the service providers are fighting all the time to say, but that is not true. So if that is your submission, because I have 8 minutes left and I need to move on to another issue, then I want to dare you to be the one to take responsibility, to submit then publicly what is it that these service providers were supposed to give NSFAS that they have failed to give NSFAS, which then justifies. Then the onus will be on them to prove that either they're lying or you are lying or somebody doesn't know. But before I move on, I have an additional question. Who are within the chain of distribution of responsibilities specifically oversees Training Young Minds?
So let's take a step back. Right?
I have 8 minutes. Answer the question directly.
I want to say, on the issue of solution partners, accreditation partners, NSFAS and institutions, there are multiple dependencies and responsibilities here, right? Confirming registration, uploading of lease agreements. So you cannot only blame a solution partner. When
said to you,
dependencies can go wrong across the board.
I need you to help me here. I asked you a direct question. So answer it. And I'm asking you because I have questions to ask.
Yeah.
So I don't need you to
I'm saying that there's
answer.
failure dependencies here that is resulting in late payments or underpayments.
Who?
You can't say who because there's multiple. Problems can be on the institution side, can be on NSFAS's side, can be on the solution partner side. You can't attribute blame to one institution or one individual.
Okay. So you're saying currently as it stands, you do not have 100% full overview of what the root of the problem as far as this particular solution partner is concerned. That's
No,
it.
and that's why we would have instituted a full legal review of the project here to
That-
be able to
that
tell
is
that.
okay.
Us to be able to build these related to policies and governance, which we are addressing on a monthly basis, so that by the time we get to the 2026 academic year, we have rebuilt our relationship with SARS and we are able to access and place reliance on their data.
Thank you, Honorable Lonze.
No, thank you very much, Chair. I'm going to try to run through this because I've got quite a few questions. Greetings, CEO, Chair. I know both of you are fairly new, but I do want to wish that you have at least brought in a team that would have been in the entity for some time. So if you don't have answers to some of these questions, Chair or CEO, feel free to give them to the other members of NSFAS who would have been there long before. I want to start with the question of defunding very quickly. CEO, imagine a scenario, someone comes from a rural province, say Limpopo, Eastern Cape. They are accepted by the National Student Financial Aid Scheme. They go and study in Cape Town because they've received the offer. In fact, they even start receiving allowances. They get payments. They are paid in February, they are paid in March, April, June. They are doing their courses. They are passing, they are writing tests, they are writing exams. And then, boom, in June, they are defunded. Do you agree, CEO, that even if there were strong, compelling reasons, would you agree with me that that is certainly not the time to defund a student, especially when they would have moved and started? Let's say you've got correct reasons. This person was not supposed to be funded to begin with. Now, why do you make them travel, CFO, all the way? Because you have given them that certainty. You have given them that promise. They've entered a social contract with NSFAS that I'm traveling all the way to Cape Town to study at UCT because I've received funding from this government. I've written my first test, I've passed, I've written an exam, I've submitted my assignments. I'm on the course of finishing my qualification as a student. And then, because NSFAS says, we made an error, it was supposed to be TVET funding, no, it's university, no, there was a system glitch. In June, I'm defunded. Just quickly your views on that, CEO. Again, I know you are new, so you can give it to the other members as well.
Yeah, thanks. Through you, Chair. Perhaps let the COO respond to the reasons for defunding, and then I'll give my view here.
Press this side.
Oh, yes, thank you very much, Chair. So I think with regards to the reasons for defunding, this had a lot to do with the sort of data that we had. And it speaks to the systems that we have in terms of saying that, are we able to determine financial, do we have enough data that's able to determine financial eligibility?
So, sorry to interject, Chair. I get the reasons. I did say the reasons may be correct. But look at the social impact. You have given someone funding, they've traveled all the way to Cape Town, then you defund them. Like, is it correct to defund someone in the middle of the academic year? Is that not something that was supposed to be well dealt with by NSFAS in the previous year, so that you don't give that person an offer to begin with if you're of the view that they're not supposed to get an offer?
Yeah. So I think that is why, excuse me, that is why, Chairperson, it's important to make sure that we start the preparations for the following year very early.
So you accept that it's wrong to defund
Yes.
someone in the middle of the year?
It's not
Thank you, COO. And let me go to the next question with respect. Just quickly, CEO, you don't have to be long on this one. How far are we with the loan applications? Because I know there were some delays in terms of the missing middle people. You can just give a rough one-word answer in terms of percentage. We've covered X percent or so, yeah.
Thanks, Honorable Lonze. I think through you, Chair, all loan applications have been assessed and final decisions have been communicated. That's the view I have. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, CEO. With student accommodation, I think a lot of the members really have spent a lot of time talking about the collapsing state of student accommodation. In fact, part of the reason we lost the life of a student in Walter Sisulu University, amongst many other reasons, was because the students were fighting for the horrible, inhumane state of student accommodation. And you have got companies that are accrediting these places. So again, maybe CFO, let me start with, I'll just need a quick response from you here. Because who accredits, what are the names of these companies that accredit student accommodation?
Chair, through you, there are 39 companies who are accreditation partners. I can give you, you want all of the names?
Yeah, I think you can share that with me.
Okay.
And then the follow-up question to that is that every month these companies are given 5% of the money that NSFAS pays. And we're told that this 5% is some type of a working fee or servicing fee. Now, CFO, let's take an accommodation that provides for 300 students. Now, the only time these companies do work is when they go and accredit. So they perform the service once. So Sihle goes there, is an ANC comrade linked to some NSFAS people. He goes and he accredits. No, just on a lighter note, Chair. He goes and accredits, let's say, about 300 students. We're paying per head about 4,500. So we're looking at 3.1 million rands that we're paying for these 300 students in this accommodation. And then this guy accredits this thing once, but we pay him 5% every month. So he's getting about 67,500 rand every month for a service that is only performed once. Because it's not like these people, they go back to check every month. Is this accommodation still at a state that it was supposed to be? And you know how I know that they don't check? Because NSFAS says to us we were tricked. The university provided pictures that says that this accommodation is in the correct state. But when we went to go check, we discovered that actually this is a shack. So that's a clear admission from NSFAS that there is no constant check-up by these 37 private accommodation providers. Now, I want to find out, COO or CEO or anyone in NSFAS, how much have we spent on these private service providers who are given a responsibility to go and accredit student accommodation in South Africa?
Thanks, Honorable Nonsi. Through you, Chair. So I think I'm going to take a moment to explain what I understand to be the student accommodation process. And I think here it is very important to clarify, Chair, that this is a system that the board and myself inherited at NSFAS. But what you have, even before we bring the intermediaries into it, is you have students, you have private accommodation providers, and you have institutions, right? Now, there are two types of intermediaries which exist. One is the accreditation partners. An accreditation partner's role is to go out and verify accommodation, give it a classification, and give it a grade. The 39 accreditation partners receive, and I'll give you the amounts here. If they accredit between 1 to 20 beds, they receive 160 Rand. If they accredit 21 to 50 beds, it's 120 Rand. 51 to 100 beds, it's 100 Rand. And more than 100 beds, it's 80 Rand. That money is not paid by NSFAS, it's paid by the solution partner to the accreditation partner. The solution partners are 4 intermediaries who handle different regions in South Africa, who have the responsibility for designing online portals on which private accommodation providers can list accommodation. So private accommodation providers log on to the portal, they list their private accommodation, it's referred to an accreditation partner who will go and accredit, give it a relative grade, and then when a student gets to campus, they can log on to that portal, choose their accommodation. The portal is also used to upload the lease agreement and elements such as that there. The solution partners receive 5%. They receive 5%, which is deducted from the landlord's payment. So the allowance table that you see from NSFAS, if somebody is paid 52,000, which is a metro rate for to private accommodation, they will receive 52,000 less 5%, which the solution partner retains as services for the utilization of their portal.
So sorry to with respect, CEO, because I've got limited time.
Yes, yes.